Hey guys, we're back with another video of things we are cooking up during this quarantine. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and joined us yesterday for our live stream. We had a lot of fun. We got some good suggestions of things we can do with the stuff in our revival box this week. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I hope we can do it again soon. So the first thing we made today is potato salad. I want to show you a picture of our recipe. This is what our recipe is in my little cookbook. I thought it was pretty comical because I have a little cookbook I was given when I got married by my mother-in-law, and it had some different recipes of things that she made. And so we've been writing down, every once in a while some recipes, and so I was like, I'm sure we have our recipe in there for potato salad, and this is what it was. So we received red potatoes in our box this week, and they came from Kinston. And so what we thought would be the easiest way to make the potatoes, these are little teeny tiny potatoes, and so we thought if we just cut them if they were big and put them in a pot and boil them, it would be easier to peel off the skin. So that's what we did. We looked through the pile of potatoes, and if they were big, we cut them up into smaller pieces so they wouldn't have to cook as long, and then we boiled them. And then after they boiled for a while and they were really tender, then we took the peelings off. This is really tricky because we've made this recipe before and we made the potatoes too mushy, and so they kind of have to be, a specific consistency. They're not too hard, but they're not too soft, so you kind of have to check them a lot. But this time we were right on the money. So in our recipe, it calls for boiled eggs, and so we did receive some eggs this week from Braswell Family Farms, and so we were able to boil those up. So we had 3 boiled eggs, and then we sliced those and added them to our potato salad recipe as well. Next, we had to chop up some pickles, so we had some sweet gherkins, same pickles that we used for our chicken salad earlier in the week, and so we chopped up what we wanted and added those to the mix. And lastly, we used Duke's mayonnaise, and like I said, we don't have a recipe, so we probably put 2 or 3 spoonfuls in, and then we mixed everything together. It needed a little bit more, so we added some more. So you kind of have to play around with it, try it, test it out. And then the very last thing we did is we added paprika, and the potato salad was really good. Now, if you don't like mayonnaise-y potato salad, some people like the mustard kind. So this might not be your favorite, but we like the mayonnaise version. It has more mayonnaise and no mustard. We like that version, and so that's the recipe that we made today. We also finished up our red onions today. Earlier we sliced them up and used them on our hamburgers, and today we had hot dogs, and so we added the little chopped up red onions on the top of our hot dog to go with our potato salad. Okay, so next we had carrots. So we had 2 big carrots that we needed to use this week. I don't know why. It's not that I'm afraid of carrots, but it seems like it's always the last thing that we choose to make. It's like we're not sure what we're going to do with them, and then it's like the last day before we get a new box. And the same thing happened this week. So last week we just cut them up and we just dipped them in ranch, and they were good. But this week I wanted to do something different. So 2 different people gave me 2 different recipes. So the first one was my sister, and she said to cut them up in little chunks, boil them, and then once they're soft, add butter, brown sugar, and a little salt. And so I did that and cut them up. It didn't really take them that long to boil, so we did that, and they were really, really sweet. They tasted different, than just regular raw carrots. So they were pretty good. And then the second recipe or suggestion that we were given is to cut them in thin strips and fry them in a little bit of olive oil, kind of like French fries. And so we did that with the second carrot. And we really just had enough to let everybody taste it. And they were really good. I was so surprised. Because I was kind of thinking, oh, they're trying to make it like a healthy kind of French fry. But actually, it didn't really taste like a French fry. Well, it kind of did, but it had a carroty flavor, but I don't know. It was just really good. I would definitely suggest it. All we did was slice them up. We put a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and we fried them for just a couple of minutes on medium-high heat. And then we added some salt to the end, kind of like we do our French fries. And they were really good. I think everybody thought they were good. I mean, I don't think anybody was like, well, they're gross. So that was a really good recipe. So both recipes we tried, and both recipes we liked for the carrots. All right, the last side dish we had for this meal was cucumbers. And we just did something really simple. We just peeled the cucumbers, we sliced them, and we put them in vinegar with salt and pepper. That is something that my grandmother did a long time ago. We always had some on the table. My mom has done it. My dad has done it. And so it's just something easy to add to the table. And they were really good. And of course, everybody in my house likes them. So that was our last side dish for this meal. Okay, so have you noticed that it seems like we're making more desserts than we normally did before we've been quarantined or, asked to stay home? And so I thought it was a great time to give you a really easy recipe that we like to use a lot. And a lot of times we use it with peaches and make peach cobbler, but we didn't have peaches this time, and so we tried blueberries. All right, so the ingredients are milk, flour, whatever fruit you would like, a stick of butter, and a cup of milk. So first you preheat your oven to 350, and you put your stick of butter in the pan you're going to use. We decided to do a small version because we didn't have as many blueberries as last week. We just had a small container instead of a large container. So we did a small small container, and then we put our stick of butter in the middle, and we put it in the oven on 350. And then you leave it in there until it melts. Once the butter melts in your pan that you put in the oven, then you can add a cup of flour, a cup of sugar, and a cup of milk. And you mix all those together. And then you decide what kind of fruit you want to use. So the specific recipe we have says if you're using canned fruits, you would add 2 15-ounce cans. We did not have cans, we just had our container of blueberries, so we just dumped the blueberries all in. Now I will say this was a smaller container of blueberries, so it probably wasn't as blueberry-ish as if we had had the larger container, but it was still good. There's plenty of sugar and flour to make it cakey, and so that really didn't matter. So what they want you to do now is to put it in your oven at 350 for an hour. Now, since ours was a smaller container this time, we did 45 minutes, and everything was baked all the way through. And we did the same thing we do when we regularly bake a cake. We just stuck a fork in the middle, and if it wasn't sticky, it was fine. And then we let it cool for a few minutes, and then we added ice cream. So hot Cobbler with ice cream on top is just the best dessert ever. And it's really, really simple and really, really easy. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Okay, well that's it for another quarantine cooking video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We started last week at 31 subscribers and we're already up to 50, and that's just in a week's time. So thank you so much for sharing it with your friends and family and for watching us and just tuning in. If you have any suggestions of things we can do, please let us know in the comments below. And y'all have a good week and be safe.
And that's a wrap.